There was a few people today that I saw that were quite close to death, which I recognised as it was very similar to when my dad was passing away. You can just tell. I'll explain a little bit more about my new job that starts tomorrow, which I am freaking out about. Good morning and welcome back, everyone. It is Monday, week 3 of my aged care rotation. I am on my palliative care rotation. I've got a busy week coming up because I start my new job this week, which I thought I was starting last week, but I start this week. I'm going to be an animal assisted therapy tutor, which is very exciting and very scary at the same time. It's also Valentine's Day today. Had a lovely morning with my love, James. We went to do a yoga class this morning at 6:30, and then he bought me the best present ever. Literally made all my dreams come true. When I was 10, one of my teachers at school had this really awesome contraption that spiralized apples and made them like super fun to eat, like a slinky. And now I am the proud owner of an apple spiralizer. I can't wait to see what the future holds for me as the proud owner of an apple spiralizer. I think it's gonna open many doors for me and my future is bright now. I'll explain a little bit more about my new job that starts tomorrow, which I am freaking out about. It's literally my dream job, but it's just so unusual that it's just scaring me a little bit to not have done it yet. Me and my best gal Daisy over here, we're gonna be tutoring at-risk kids or kids who may have some learning difficulties or, you know, just have some anxiety or are struggling at school. We're gonna help those kids firstly enjoy learning, secondly, learn some things about emotional intelligence, words, whatever their goals are, and hopefully have a really positive learning experience with them together. I just want to do a really good job and I'm really afraid of not doing a good job. So yeah, I'm just going to print my resources that I've been making online so that I have some things to fall back on tomorrow. I had a couple of tutorials this morning about our research project. They were just introductory lectures, so there wasn't really anything much there. And aside from that, I went to the shops. I did that thing that I always do when I'm freaking out, where I feel like I want to buy something to make me feel better about it. So I bought a laminator and hopefully that makes me feel better about this situation. But yeah, starting a new job. I haven't started a new job in so long. So yeah, I'm scared. I had my first day on palliative care this morning and I think it went pretty well. The team is really, really nice and it's very similar to MD2 content in that we went on some ward rounds this morning, which I haven't really done since starting MD3 a few weeks ago. So it was like pretty stock standard. Like we went around to all the patients who were in palliative care, see how they were going. The major assessments that I could tell that was happening was checking to see if anyone was in any pain, any respiratory distress, or bowels and bladder, if they had any constipation or diarrhea or anything that you could medicate to help them be more comfortable, as well as nausea and vomiting. It was interesting because I actually had heard that palliative care is not where people go to die. I didn't really understand what that meant though. But end-of-life care is only one branch of palliative care, which I learned today. And some of palliative care is assessing people, some is symptom management, some is end-of-life care, but it's only one part of it. There was a lot of people who were planning for discharge out of palliative care because, yeah, their life wasn't ending just yet, which is great. There was also a lot of just frank conversations about people dying and how much time they had left. The registrar was really good at communicating. She had some tough conversations today involving families and people's wishes in terms of whether or not they wanted to continue treatment, big issues like that. And she just managed everything so well, very, very polite, very direct, like didn't really beat around the bush. I tell you what though, all day today, I have been just thinking about my new job and feeling really afraid and scared. I haven't felt like this in a while. I think this is probably equivalent to when I am freaking out about my results for an exam. That's kind of how I feel today. At this point, I don't want to really discuss those feelings on camera because I think that's just going to make me bring them life. So I'm just going to be as confident as I can. The first session is a get to know you session, so it's nothing too strenuous. The hiring manager who owns the company clearly thought that I was right for the role, so I just need to believe in myself that I'm right for the role and that I'm going to do a really good job at it. Still scary though. Oh my God, getting out of your comfort zone is so scary. It's so nice to be in your comfort zone. Everything makes sense there. You know how to do everything there, but how will you ever grow if you don't get out? I'm going to anxiety clean the dishes now and then head on my way and try to get there ultra early. Ashima, you are going to be so good at this role. You are an encouraging person, you're a friendly person, you're a personable person, you love learning, you're a very passionate teacher. So there's no reason that this isn't going to go well. This is all within your skill set and you're going to nail it, and this child is going to have a great time learning from you and you're going to have a great time learning from the child, and it's just going to be a beautiful symbiosis of learning. Okay, me and my main gal Daisy, we both just had our shift with our new tutoring pal, and it didn't go badly, but it definitely had a lot of room for improvement. I tried my best, and yeah, I don't know what to say. I tried my best. My participant was quite distracted today, so none of the activities that I had planned really appealed to them, but they had a sister who was really engaged and wanted to participate, so that was good. We could at least do the activities with her. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I did that well, but I don't think I did terribly badly either, and I'm feeling pretty okay about it, so that's definitely a good sign. I definitely needed some comfort food after the day I had, so chicken bolognese was exactly what the doctor ordered. I've been doing some more thinking about last night and my time doing my animal assisted therapy tutoring, and just trying to think about what went well, what didn't go well, so that I can improve next time. It was definitely not a 10 out of 10 from me, but obviously why would it be, because it was my first time doing something new. So I need to just focus on being as growth mindset about this as possible. I tried my best. I'm going to do some things to try to improve for next week. I'm going to reach out to a few of my colleagues who have more experience than me. I'm going to try to do some reading, and then I'm just going to try again next week with fresh eyes. It's just going to take me a moment to find my feet with it because it's a challenging change. I am feeling very, very accomplished today. Me and Audrey had, oh my God, you little dogs, get out of the bin. Me and Audrey had a really productive day today where we went on the rounds with the Palliative Care team, and there was a few patients today that we both got to witness some conversations surrounding how long the patient had to live, which is conversations that are very difficult to have and you don't often see outside of the palliative care environment. Like, I'd never seen it outside of palliative care. So it was very interesting to watch the doctors do that and absorb some of those skills. So I observed the resident talking to a family about their mother only having days to weeks left in her life, and the way she explained it, and the way she explained what the role of the palliative care team would be during that time. There's a rule at the moment where you can only have 2 visitors a day and only 1 at a time in your room. But if someone is going to pass away potentially in the next 24 hours, then it moves to something called unrestricted access, where you can have up to 2 people in the room and you can tag team out as many people as you want. So everyone who wants to see you can come and see you in that amount of time. So explaining those kind of things to patients is really important as well. There was a few people today that I saw that were quite close to death, which I recognized as it was very similar to when my dad was passing away. You can just tell it's like the way that the breathing is and the posture, and I guess the aura. I don't know what the exact terminology is, but there's like a way that people look when they're about to die, and you can tell that. I guess I didn't really know the patients that well, so while it was sad, I didn't feel extremely emotionally drained or anything like that after the experience, which is something I was looking out for, because I was thinking about palliative care like I do all rotations, as could this be something that I can do in the future? And some of my fears going into it was, you know, would I be able to do palliative because it's so much death and dying, and would that make me really sad? But I don't know, I didn't really feel that way. Hi, James. Okay. Yeah, so I didn't really feel that way, so I think that leaves me more open to considering it as a specialization in the future. The doctors who I asked why they chose palliative care had really good answers, and I was like, yeah, those are great reasons. So one of the registrars was saying that she enjoys how much of a difference it can make to the end of someone's life, and actually how impactful it is for the families, because that's how they remember those final moments. And making those final moments really count for someone is just a really rewarding and satisfying feeling, which 100%, that sounds so rewarding and so satisfying. So I would be keen to do a rotation through there and actually immerse myself in the work and see what that's like. Then we went to have a lunch, and then we came back. We were on a mission to get a mini CX today. So in case you're new here, or in case you just forgot, a mini CEX is something that I don't even know what it stands for, but it's basically a sheet that you have to fill out doing a practical activity on your placement. You have to get a doctor to sign it, and then you have to submit it to your uni. So I just left the house on my way to placement now, and I left my key in the house and there's no spare key. So I can't get into my car. Okay, I bloody made it. James came and saved me and let me back into the house, but now I'm running a bit late. It definitely feels like it's the end of the week. I no longer have a pep in my step. It's more of a trudge shuffle getting me out the door. It's my last couple of days on palliative care at the moment, and I actually think that today will be mostly the last day, because tomorrow we have so many tutorials that it's barely going to be any time on the ward. So I'm going to try to make the most of today. Hello, so just running home now after a day in Pal Care, because I have a shoot at 3:30, so I just want to be on my computer at home to do that one because it's a lot more comfortable there. Today was the first time I'd met one of the consultant palliative doctors, so I'd seen her name on the notes, but I hadn't met her yet. She was so lovely and so inviting, because I rocked up late because I had locked myself out of the house, and she was just like, yeah, that's fine, didn't make me feel like bad about it or anything like that. And then she was really engaging myself and my other students and the residents. What really makes a difference on the rounds is if the doctors stop and tell you a little bit about the patient before you go into the room, so you can get a little bit of context about what their situation is. And sometimes the doctors are too busy to do that, but she really took the time to make sure that we knew what was happening with those patients before we went into the room. And she also took time to discuss the emotional burden of palliative care. She was talking about the importance of acknowledging when you're really feeling moved by a situation. For example, if the people who are in your palliative care remind you of you or your situation, then that can be hard and that can bring up those emotions for yourself. And I actually definitely felt that today for the first time this week. So Audrey and I were with the resident, and we were in a family meeting discussing someone entering the terminal phase of their life. So it was a meeting with the family, and the doctor was telling them that their father was likely to pass in the next few hours to days to weeks. So we were in on that meeting, and like I was totally fine at the start, but then I was just like looking at his file and then like looking at the daughter and imagining myself in that position, because I have been in that position before. We had family meetings for my dad while he was in the ICU. I just remember that being so horrible and hard and surreal, and I couldn't stop myself from thinking about that moment when I was watching the daughter be upset about that situation. It wasn't a really lingering sense of sadness. It was sort of like when you watch a sad movie, and I was able to move on from it pretty quickly, from that little moment of feeling sad. And I think I just really like palliative care. Like, I really liked the juxtaposition between how happy moments are and then how sad some moments are, because it made each of those moments mean so much more to have that contrast all of the time. So yeah, highly recommend palliative care. Really great specialization. Oh my goodness, I'm finally home. It's finally Friday night and I'm done with palliative care for the week. This week was a great week. Honestly, I had such a good time because I was with Audrey for one, which was always amazing. Secondly, I just love palliative care. It was such a good rotation. I can't stop thinking about all the plus sides of palliative care. There's just so many job perks that I can see that, yeah, I'm definitely considering this one as a specialization. So I guess at the moment, my top two are probably ear, nose and throat, surge, or palliative care, or general practice, all very varied things that I'm interested in. Today was a lot of watching tutorials online, so I didn't really get to be on Pal Care, the ward, very much. We only saw a few patients today, and then we just had back-to-back lectures for most of the day. but it's been a bit of a reunion in our common room. In MD3 this year, we've all been scattered around different sites. We're not at one hospital like we were last year. But this week, I've been at the hospital I was at last year. So it's been really nice to run into other people from my med cohort that I haven't seen for a long time. It's been so nice to catch up with everyone and see how everyone's going and what they're up to and all of that good stuff. I had 2 tutorials today. One of them was discussing acute brain injury. So the case was a 19-year-old boy who fell off a building because he was drinking alcohol and now has a brain injury. So we went through what would be important to look for as part of his rehabilitation. And then the second tutorial we had was a palliative care one about medications for breathlessness and pain. It was really, really hard for me to concentrate today. I just didn't have a great sleep last night. And whenever that happens, I'm just so much less able to focus. But it's fine, I made it through the day. Updates on my job, I'm feeling so much better about how it went on Tuesday, because I've been thinking about it for the last few days. I called a few friends of mine who are teachers just to get some tips on how to manage students, just looking for some basic advice. And then I ended up calling my participant's old tutor from the same company that I'm at. And it made me feel a lot better having talked to her, because she told me that this person is actually quite high needs, one of the more high needs kids she's seen, and she has a lot of experience in the field. So that made me feel a lot better knowing that someone with way more experience than me had the same issues that I did. And it made me feel a lot more confident, and it made me excited to be able to workshop different things in the future with this student and hopefully try to figure out something that works for them by problem solving and applying all that I know about teaching and learning and seeing what sticks. So yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm just feeling good about uni. I'm feeling good about my job, and yeah, I just feel overall very happy. I'm excited to have a great sleep tonight. I'm excited to try a new routine for the weekend. So I have booked myself a yoga class early tomorrow morning, and then I'm going to try to make tomorrow day, so Saturday day, my admin day, to get that all out of the way. So hopefully, because I'm going to be up and out of bed early for yoga, then I'll be more motivated to be productive throughout the day so that I can enjoy the rest of my weekend. And yeah, I'm gonna call it on this vlog, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time as always. Hope you enjoyed this. And if you did, it would be awesome if you could like, comment, and subscribe, as it really helps me with the YouTube algorithm, and it really helps with me being motivated to post more. And I will see you next time I post. Thank you for coming again. Love you guys. If you have any questions, please DM me on Instagram. I reply to all my DMs. Have a good weekend.